Some in the media are under intense criticism for dismissing reports about then-candidate Joe Biden's son Hunter in the final weeks of the presidential campaign this year. In particular, an explosive report from the New York Post about Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings and his father's role in them. One Post op-ed with the headline, "Media Disgraceful in Trying to Suppress Post-Hunter Biden Reporting." And the Post cover today calling it the Hunter cover-up. Power panel, Lisa Booth and Leslie Marshall, both Fox News contributors. Lisa, the president might have been right about that in October. He certainly would be right about that now. It's a scandal.
Right, and it's absolutely, Harris. And it's not just this. The media is broken. And what we've seen over the past 4 years and what President Trump has done is really expose the perverse bias that exists in the media. And he's brought to light a lot of the worldview of the individuals who work in the media. And I think the notion of objectivity has largely died over the past 4 years. And it wasn't enough to just try to ignore this story. The media actively worked to run interference for Joe Biden. And what we saw was in 2019, they said that there was no evidence of any wrongdoing of Hunter Biden or Joe Biden. And then when Hunter Biden's emails surfaced, which nobody in the Biden camp has denied the authenticity of them, when that happened, they told us it was Russian disinformation, and they never even tried to lay a glove or vet Joe Biden as a candidate. And they did that while pushing false news stories about President Trump, like the Charlottesville lie, and ignoring successes of the Trump administration, like Operation Warp Speed and the Arab peace deals.
You know, the irony here, too, that I see, Leslie, and something that I would want to ask the president-elect about, and that is that this was simply a look for answers and investigation. The scandalous part comes in the unevenness of the coverage of it and this just sort of non-appetite for getting to the facts, which might turn out to be, you know, what Democrats like yourself have said all along, something that was nothing more. Or maybe it wouldn't. But no one's willing to ask.
Well, first of all, journalism 101, you have to put it out there and let the public decide. But to one very credible, who I respect greatly, Leslie Stahl, as a journalist, you know, at the time, in her defense, none of us knew that the Attorney General's office was investigating, the FBI was investigating Hunter Biden even before AG Barr was AG Barr. One. Two, this is not about Joe Biden. A Republican committee in the middle of December said that they found zero evidence tying Joe Biden to any of this, that there was any evidence of any wrongdoing by the president-elect. So the scandal does surround Hunter Biden. It could be a bit of a distraction. And speaking of distraction, in the media's defense, when that story about the New York Post came out, and they should have reported on it, and even more so, there were bigger news items, two being, one, the election, and of course, the pandemic, and the surge that many areas started to have after we thought that maybe we had turned the corner with regard to COVID.
You know, I hear you say that, and I saw the competing way that Democrats handled the impeachment, and again, we had an impending pandemic coming. So I don't know where you're going exactly with that, but go ahead.
Harris, can I address? Yeah, I just want to address one thing. This is about Joe Biden, and to say that he had no involvement, I'm sorry, is just not true. And the Senate report came out
so prior. The Republicans are lying with the report in the middle of December?
Leslie, I'm not finished. No, Leslie, you're wrong. That report came out before Hunter Biden's email surfaced, and let me give some examples here. We have the official China trip of 2013, when then Vice President Joe Biden brought Hunter Biden along Air Force Two, met with Jonathan Lee, a business partner of Hunter Biden's. No less than 2 weeks later, Hunter Biden got a $1 billion private equity deal with ties to the Chinese government. Also, looking at the emails that surfaced, Hunter Biden's, no one's denied the authenticity of, we had a Burisma official thanking Hunter Biden for introducing him to his father, Joe Biden, less than a year before Joe Biden called and forced the ousting of the top prosecutor investing Burisma Holdings. Lastly, you have both Hunter Biden's emails, as well as Tony Bobulinski, a business partner of the Bidens, who has gone on record saying that Joe Biden stood to benefit from a deal with a Chinese energy company that had ties to the Chinese government. So I'm sorry, That is not true. Look at those three items, and that's where everyone should be looking at right now.
What is
getting to the bottom of that.
He was
Leslie
Hunter
and
Biden
Lisa,
was
I'm going to have to let you go, bring you back another time.
Okay, sorry.
But thank you very much. We'll continue to cover this, obviously.
Thank you.